Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Just Another Struggling Writer, the beleaguered author's one-stop shop for commiseration and hopefully inspiration. My name is Carey and I am just another struggling writer. Well, it is the last weekend of November, and that means it is time to do a little cozy reset as we get into the last month of 2025. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it's December already. And while we chat, I'm going to be once again doing my nails. So as you guys probably know by now, November was a big month for me in terms of getting back to kind of a baseline and getting back to myself. And I spent a lot of the month focused on recovering from the major mental slump I had been going through pretty much since the end of July. Okay, sorry if the angle changed. I needed to check on something. So looking back, I had three main goals for the month of November. I wanted to either write 50,000 words or hit 90,000 words in the manuscript. Ultimately, those were about the same thing. Either or would have sufficed, but they were basically the same thing. 50,000 would have gotten me to about 90K. My second goal was to post more consistently across all of my social media channels, not just YouTube, with the ultimate goal, not necessarily like the goal for November, but the ultimate goal of getting up to a habit of posting every single day. And then my third goal was to do 3 live streams in the month of November. So how did I fare? Well, I hit 1 out of 3. So not great. Writing wise, I did not hit 50K or 90K in total in the manuscript. I'm not even really close, to be honest with you. I did total up my words for the month, and while I am filming this on the 28th and I have not counted my words for today or tomorrow, it's not even going to be close. I did manage to write 18 out of 30 days, although some of those days were 200 words here, 60 words there, so not incredibly consistent. I would like that to be like 25 out of 30, but I was still struggling with some personal things that came up after the fact, and it just is what it is. 18 out of 30 days is still better than what it was in October, September, and August, so I will absolutely take it as improvement. But the other thing that I did writing-wise recently that I am kind of proud of is I started these ladder sprints. I talked about this in my 5-year plan video. If you haven't watched that, please check that out. But basically, something I am going to try doing on a consistent basis are these ladder sprints that I learned about from Alyssa in the books. Basically, the way that they work is that you set aside 2 hours to be productive, and then you slowly step out the productivity time. So you start with a 12-minute sprint, and then you do a 24, 36, 48 minutes. And when you total all that up, that is 2 hours of productivity. I have tweaked them a little bit. I actually go in reverse order, mostly just because my typical writing schedule is at night, quite late at night, at the end of a long day. And I think it would just behoove me better to start with the longer sprint and step down as it gets later in the night and as my brain gets slowly wrung out like a sponge. And they've actually worked really, really well. Now, I chose a really bad week to start them. It was this week of the holiday, so I've missed a couple of days, but 5 out of 7 is pretty good. And if I write tonight, it would be 5 out of 7, which is what I'm planning on doing next. So all in all, I would say that was a very, very successful idea. It is a little bit of an ass kicking. Don't get me wrong. It is really, really, really hard. You're going to see a whole vlog about it coming up on Friday, but it's tough. But I think it's what I need to be doing if I want to become a full-time writer, which again is my ultimate goal. As for my content goals, I was successful in posting more consistently. I did not post every single day, but again, that was just something I knew I was going to have to step up to eventually. Oh, I should show you my color. It's one I've used before. It's this nice, dark green. Focus, please. It's called Stay Off the Lawn. I've been really into these greens lately. Again, I was way more consistent. I did not miss a single upload in the month of November on YouTube. I posted all 8 times that I had on my schedule, which for those of you keeping track at home is twice a week. I also posted 3 out of 4 weeks on my Substack. I did miss a week when I was going through it a little bit personally, but I managed to get right back on top of it, and I do have some posts planned for December, so that should stay relatively consistent. What I'm having the most hard time with is Instagram. I am just not like a very visual girl. I don't really have a very strong sense of aesthetics. So Instagram has never been something I have had a lot of interest in personally. And so it's just been a real struggle. I don't really have a strong connection to anyone over there. Most of the things I post are like graphics that I'm creating in Canva to talk about my project or to like post lines or things. I'm not over here taking pictures for sure. That's just not my vibe. So I don't know how I feel about like continuing to pursue Instagram as a social media channel. I mean, I'll still like, I'll still post like One Line Wednesdays over there. But again, that's just not really my speed. And I feel terrible because I know that it's got a big author community over there. It's just not for me, unfortunately. I've also not been super consistent with TikTok. That is again for a lack of ideas. But I think if I put some time into it, which I am planning on doing this weekend, and really like brainstorming a list of ideas that I can do, so that way I'm not like having to come up with something on the fly. I think that'll really help me be more consistent with that. I would like to do TikToks twice a week as well. One coat. Something else that is kind of content related, not my content related, but something I'm really proud of is I managed to make a big dent in my AuthorTube backlog. I am a weirdo in that I love to follow a lot of people. Like YouTube truly is my social media like platform in terms of like I like to follow as many creators as I can and keep up with their content. Unfortunately, I cannot bring myself to skip to present day, barring one or two scenarios. Thinking specifically of when Meredith announced her book deal, I skipped ahead and I watched that. By and large, I'm watching your content in order. I don't want to miss an episode. I don't want to, anyway. And I know that that's not like super algorithm friendly. It's just my neuroses. So I'm currently like mid-October in terms of like the videos that I'm watching, but I started in August. So I'm making up some ground here. Unfortunately, there is only so many hours in the day. I'm mostly watching videos at work. I was watching some earlier while I was getting homework done. I'm hopeful that by the end of the year, I will be totally caught up. That's a big ask because I'm still 6 weeks behind, but I think I can do it. I just got to be like on top of it and staying on top of it. So again, I apologize if I am leaving comments and likes on videos that are months old and it's no longer helping you in the algorithm, but I am still trying to support you in my own way. And then while I didn't have any goals specifically on a personal level, I would just like to say that I am feeling so much better than I did in the last 3 months. And while that isn't something that I have all of the control over, I mean, I do have some control over it in terms of like self-care and all of that. You know, there are still some outside forces that I have no control over that does unfortunately impact my mental health. It is nice to be back. I think I said in the community tab post, like how much I really missed content creation. I missed putting videos together. I even missed editing. Like I missed like watching my numbers like a hawk. You know, it's just weird things like that. I missed it. And it's so nice to be able to be back and to be feeling better and to be like feeling like myself again. It's nice to be able to talk with you all in the comments and in the Discord. It's just nice to feel more like myself again. I also like established some really good personal habits that, you know, I will keep to myself, but really things that have really helped with getting back to a good baseline and good mental health. And that did take some personal effort and just some reflection on what I can do to help myself. So really proud of that. And then, now I don't want to say this too loud because I do have a project due tomorrow, but I have an A in my Principles of Management class. I am only taking one class per term now. It was just too much to manage too as we got into the harder classes of the degree program. But I was a little bit worried about this one when we got started at the beginning of the month because it's very writing intensive, which, you know, listen, I'm a writing channel and I'm an aspiring author, but this academic writing is not the same. In fact, a girl at work was like, I thought you would like this kind of class since it's so writing heavy. And I'm like, girl, no, do not like the papers. So it is like at least one paper a week, or it has been one paper per week since the start of the class. And I hate it. I hate it a lot actually, but I have an A. I got one B on the very first paper of the class, which was like, rude. What are you doing to me? But apart from that, it's been going really well. All A's since then. So maintaining an A in school, really proud of that. So that's it for my goals for November. I do have some favorites that I found in the month of November. So first up, my favorite book that I read, and this is really cheating because this is the only book that I read and I didn't even finish it, but that is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Reading has just not been a priority ever since I started the second draft. Over the summer, I realized that back when I finished the first draft of Seekers, I made the kind of sad realization that I just do not have time. I do not have time to be reading as much as I wanted to and writing a book and everything else. School and work and my kids, I just do not have the time. And so reading has been more of an exercise in, will this help me write my book? Does it have a similar voice? Does it have a similar setting? Does it have a similar plot? Not necessarily comps, but just things that just ways to educate me in the kind of book that I'm writing and help me kind of make sure that I'm staying, abreast of genre conventions. And I had heard that Ninth House would be a good tonal comp to what I'm looking for. I know that Gideon the Ninth is a good tonal comp because I've read it. And that's exactly the kind of tone that I'm going for, kind of snarky and irreverent, informal. So what I did was I Googled good comps, tonal comps to Gideon, and Ninth House came up as a good tonal comp. So I picked that up. It's not totally what I'm looking for, but Leigh Bardugo is Leigh Bardugo. I am one of the rare denizens of the internet that did not love Six of Crows, mostly just because it hit a lot of the YA tropes that I hate the most. And I am an equally rare denizen of the internet that loved The Familiar. So Leigh Bardugo is in this weird space for me, and I'm really hoping that this duology tips the scale for me. But anyway, I'm enjoying it. My favorite song of the month was definitely For Good from the Wicked soundtrack, and you may choose your Wicked soundtrack of your preference, because for me, it could be either. I really love the original Broadway with Idina and Kristen, of course, but the movie soundtrack was also really good too. I cry every time I hear it. It just hits me right in the feels. It is just one of those, the message specifically of the song is just one of those that gets me. Even when we were watching the movie last weekend, it was to a point where even if I would just hear the motif, I would start to tear up. And if I hear it on a commercial for the movie, I get teary, immediately, instant teary-eyed. It's just one of those ones that gets me. And I'm so sorry for that. Love that song. Highly recommend, especially if you have ever been impacted by a close friend. Next up, I'm gonna have to get up for this one. Okay, so next up is my favorite candle of the month. And this is a new addition to my cozy resets of old because I've only recently, in the last 6 or 8 months, really gotten into candles. In the past, candles would give me a headache. I have been very sensitive to smell, but I think placing them on the mantle where they are now, and I think there's just enough distance, and we've got the back door between myself and the candle. I just think it's just enough distance where it's not overpowering me and makes the room smell nice. So I've gotten really into candles lately. I say really, I'm not a fanatic, but if I'm in the store, I am buying a candle. So my current favorite, or my favorite for the month of November, was this cranberry mandarin. There you go. It is cranberry, currant, and sweet orange, and I love it. I wish I could have it on right now, but it definitely would give me a headache sitting right in front of me. Oh no, my next favorite is my favorite purchase, and it is my You're on Your Own Kid sweater that I got from the Taylor Swift store. I'm wearing it in my 5-year plan video, but my nails are all wet and it's in the dryer, and I fear that if I go try and pull it out of the dryer, I'm just gonna get my nail polish all over everything in it, and I don't want to ruin anything in there, and I don't want to have to redo these. I will link it below. I will put a picture of it right here, and of course go check out that video if you want to see it on me. I ordered it a size up because I wanted to swim in it, and it nailed it. I am obsessed with it. I wish I could wear it every single day. Not only is it just so cute, and not only is it fits the vibe of with the message of the song and everything, especially for someone who is prioritizing their creative pursuits right now. Yeah, I love it. I'm obsessed with it. Special shout out to these I can get. A runner-up favorite are these pair of earrings that I just recently got. They are these little raven guys. Aren't they cute? I'm obsessed with them. Runner-up favorite little raven earrings. See, when I was content planning this video, I was like, you shouldn't paint your nails because you're gonna need to grab things, and then I forgot. This is why I should always write down my thoughts in my notes. Next up is my favorite cozy hobby of the month, and that would be playing Pokemon with my son. My son is a big Pokemon fan, largely because I made him into one. One of my best friends from high school is a huge Pokemon nerd, and I'm a millennial, so I'm a fan in that regard. Anyway, my son has been asking for a Switch 2 since the beginning of the year, and so he has kind of always known that it was going to be his birthday / Christmas gift alongside the new Pokemon Legends game. And then about right at the beginning of the month, I decided I was going to replay through a couple of the more recent Pokemon releases as we get ready for Legends CA. We decided we were going to play through Sword and Shield together, Legends Arceus, and Scarlet and Violet. Unfortunately, he did get grounded midway through the month, and that kind of took a lot of time away from us. So we've only just beaten Sword and Shield, or at least I did, and then I just started Arceus like last night. But it's been really fun. It's been really fun. It's been nice to just hang out with him and talk Pokemon. In fact, I wanted to text him and be like, are you onto Arceus yet? Because he's with his dad this week. But yeah, it's just been really nice. It's something that I will continue doing into December as well. His birthday's on the 9th, so he will be able to start playing Legends CA on the 10th, probably, just because, anyway, reasons. And then I'll just continue with my playthroughs of the other games. He doesn't need to necessarily follow me in that. But anyway, so yeah, that's what I have been doing with my free time. Next up is my new favorite YouTuber, and that would be Carey Writes. I think she just has such a sweet vibe, and it's just so cozy, and she has the kind of vlogs that I can put on and just listen to while I'm doing my work. It's just so nice and just very relaxing and very vibey, and I definitely recommend you give her a follow if you haven't already. And then my favorite video that I made would definitely be my 5-year plan video from last week. I was going through a really hard time that week. Just a lot of personal stuff going on precluded me from focusing yet again on my writing, and I took a mental health day off of work, and I just the first part of the day, I just laid in bed and was like really lamenting what I was doing with my life and the fact that I haven't really prioritized it in the way that I have wanted to. And I was thinking about a video that I had recently watched from Lynn and thinking about some other things from some other YouTubers that I admire and thinking, what do they do that I don't do? And I sort of started thinking about like, well, Lynn does this and Meredith does this and Alyssa does this, and they're all, Lynn and Meredith have agents and book deals already, and I think Alyssa is probably pretty close to getting there, and she at least has the dedication necessary to get there. I started just sort of game planning how I would do it too. And then I started thinking like, that's a lot of work, but if it pays off, I could make writing my career, which is my ultimate goal. And anyway, it just sort of started coming together, and I started really thinking about it. And while it sounds like it was kind of a last minute thought, it truly has been a culmination of everything that has happened, not just since finishing the first draft of Seekers earlier this year, but kind of since starting Seekers in May of last year, and really starting to put more and more of my energy into writing. Last year in May was when I finally started dedicating publicly committing and time and energy into one single project. And then when I finished the draft earlier this year, it confirmed to me that this is the route to go, and that I have taken a huge step, and that I'm no longer that writer who can start a project and then lose interest after 20,000 words, and that this has the legs to carry me. But also, this just feels like the natural next step. Dedicating specific time in a specific place in a specific way to a specific goal, and doing that just feels like the next thing, the next level up I need to take. And so yeah, I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of myself for committing myself to it. And while I'm only a week in, it's been pretty successful, even with the holiday. So again, please go check out that video if you have not already. And then finally, my last favorite thing that I'm going to talk about is my favorite new thing that I'm doing. And that is getting up in the morning, getting the kids up if it's, a weekday, taking a shower, and then doing some video editing. On a school day, I get up at 6:30, I get my girls up, I take a quick shower, and then I usually have, depending on if I'm washing my hair that day or not, between 25 and 45 minutes before I need to start getting ready myself. Prior to this last couple of weeks, what I had been doing was just kind of laying around in the recliner or whatever on my phone, doing like the Wordle or, the New York Times word games, or on Twitter. And it was totally a waste of time. It was totally a time suck. And at some point in the month, I didn't get my edits done and I needed to get some done. So I just sat down and I knocked it out in the 20 minutes that I had. And I was like, wow, that was really easy. It was really efficient. Why not do this on a daily basis? Because I'm filming vlogs every day. I can edit the footage the next day if I need to. And so that's what I started doing. I just started getting up in the morning and going to my computer after everything else is taken care of and just knocking it out. And even if I don't finish the edits from the previous day or for the video, it's giving me a head start. And so I think that's really going to help me just in terms of like the time pressure. And I'm never again going to be sitting at my desk at 10:30 on a night before a video is due, cramming in the edits and not getting any writing done as a result. So I'm really, really pleased with how that habit has gone. And I am now going to take a quick break because my battery is dying, even though it was plugged in most of the day. So I'm gonna let my nails dry and then we will check back in shortly. All right, we're back, and my camera still didn't charge all the way even after 45 minutes, but we're just gonna carry on. So next we're gonna talk about my December goals, how I'm going to build on the month of November and continue to improve. So I've got 3 categories of goals: writing, content creation, and personal goals. For my writing goals, the biggest and most obvious one is finishing the second draft of Seekers of Empyrean. This is a big ask because I am still targeting December 21st, which is in, just about 3 weeks from now. And I still have 60,000 words left to write, but I'm gonna do my best. I don't know that I'm gonna hit that. If not, then maybe December 31st would, behoove me, but I am targeting getting this draft done before the new year turns over. I'm going to do that by writing every single day, no excuses, minimum of 1,000 words. But beyond that, what I would really like to do is do these ladder sprints as often as possible. I would almost said every single day, but there are going to be times where that's not going to be really possible. The 9th is my son's birthday, and my daughter also has a choir concert, and so we're going to be going from pretty much I'm going to be getting home from work, going up to her choir concert, then taking family out for dinner for my son's birthday, doing gifts and cake and all that, and then coming home. And then it'll probably be like right at 9 o'clock, and I don't know that I'm going to be wanting to sit down. So anyway, there are just going to be some days that doing a full 2.5 hour ladder sprint is just not. But on those days, I am still targeting 1,000 words just to contribute to the draft every single day. So I would say 25 out of 31 days, I would like to do a ladder sprint, thinking about Christmas, thinking about my son's birthday, thinking about New Year's Eve. Those are days that I'm looking at that probably won't get that done. But again, still hoping to write every day. So those are my 3 goals. Ultimately, whatever it takes to finish Seekers of Empyrean Draft 2, writing every single day, and doing ladder sprints the majority of the months. Next up are my content goals. The first one is one that I don't really have that much control over, and it would be kind of a big ask, but my goal is to reach 500 subscribers by the end of the year. Now, I am sitting at 463, so 37 more followers doesn't sound like a lot, but it's been a pretty slow growth ever since my hiatus in the summer. So 37 in 1 month is a big ask, but I plan to support that goal by continuing to be really consistent with my content posting twice a week here on YouTube, but also my next goal is to post twice weekly short content. So things designed for 3 minutes or less. So YouTube Shorts and TikToks. And between those two, I'm hopeful that I can hit that big number by the end of the year. And then again, not really my content related, but I would like to get to at least less than 30 days behind on my AuthorTube content in terms of like watching. I would love to catch up by the end of the year. I don't know that that's possible, but at least less than 30 days so that I'm semi close to what is current. That would be ideal. I think I can definitely do that considering I'm only 6 weeks behind. So I would only need to catch up by 2 more weeks, 2.5. Maybe 3 more weeks. And I think I could probably do that pretty quickly. So I'm really confident in that goal. And thank you guys so much again for your patience. And then for my personal goals, first up, I would like to finish reading Ninth House. Again, my reading has not really been prioritized of late. And like my reading spreadsheet for the year is hilarious because you could just see the drop off after June of, I had read 55 books in the first half of the year and almost none since. Getting at least one more knocked off before the end of the year would really just make me feel good about my reading as a whole. Something else that I have been trying to get better about is drinking more water. I have made a concentrated effort at work, especially to drink a 30-ounce water bottle of water. And then I have this one here, which is also 30 ounces. And I would like to do one of these in the evenings. So one in the day during the day while I'm at work, and then one of these in the evenings. This has not been as successful. I've been doing it at work, not so much here. So I need to get a lot better about that. But I'm saying 30 to 60 ounces a day. If I can at least do 1 cup, one of these big water bottles, then I'll definitely be doing better than what I was, which is basically none. And then finally, for my personal goals, I would just like to get more active in the writing community. I have been lurking in the Storyteller Society Discord for months and months and months, and only occasionally popping up whenever I need something, and I'm very cognizant of that. So I want to just be more supportive of my fellow AuthorTubers and my fellow writers in the writing community. And to that point, if you guys ever need like support or promotion, or you need someone to bounce ideas off of, or you need a critique partner, beta readers, please just reach out to me and let me know. I am not just willing, but very, very like wanting to get into that side of things, especially with being a critique partner and beta reading. I want to do more and more of that as I get closer to having my 3rd draft completed, which is when I plan to actually start like sending things out to critique partners and things. And that's everything. Thank you so much for coming along on this little cozy reset. I really miss doing these videos in the first half of the year, and I'm excited to be getting back to them again. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video, please let me know some of your December goals in the comments below. Or tell me some ways you succeeded in November. Did you participate in any writing challenges that you were successful in? Or even if you weren't, just let me know how you did. I'd love to continue chatting down below. And with that, thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate it. If you like my content and want to support the channel, please like and subscribe, or consider leaving a comment down below. In my next video, you will see my vlog where I am trying out these ladder sprints for the first time. And just a little spoiler, it's an ass whipping. I hope you look forward to it, and I will see you then. Bye.